Marlborough is in the beautiful Bay of Islands, which is an iconic travel destination within New Zealand. The rich history is just layered within the rooms, from the beautiful motifs to the tartan seating and the charming art.
They say when the Duke's doing well, Russell's doing well.
Welcome to the hellhole of the Pacific.
It was called that, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a pretty rough town in the 1830s, lot of whalers.
This is the first place they sold grog in New Zealand.
Yeah, I mean, there's always a big argument in New Zealand amongst the pubs, but you can go along and see the licence. It's got number 1 written right on it. There was a saying at the time that someone was as rich as the Duke of Marlborough, who was at the time the richest man in the world. The fact there was a little tin shack with sawdust on the floor, that's just the power of marketing, isn't it?
This is what this room's all about, is the view. We've tried to keep it quite toned down and just make it about this, and it sells itself. As soon as we bring people up here, they're like, yep, we want this one.
I was struck by this motto that sits above the bed.
It was a shield that we took and we sort of changed it up a little bit. So they've got the little blue penguin, and then it's got some whaling tools in there, and also Kōrerakaka, which is the original name of Russell.
And why is the blue penguin yellow?
Well, the original thought was that the yellow penguin would then match the tartan cushion covers on the chairs. They were actually originally in the hotel when we bought it 10 years ago. So we have, if we can, tried to sort of reuse or recycle.
So Lloyd, you were the architect involved in the renovations to the Duke.
It was in 2 stages. Stage 1 was the street, reimagining the facade, adding a second story, adding a veranda on the second story, and giving it a grand entrance.
And the second stage was adding the wing to the back.
Yes, we filled in effectively what was a U shape to the original form of the building, and we added 13 rooms, 13 guest rooms on 2 levels. We were very keen for it to be its own thing, although obviously related, but you would look at both parts of the building and you'd be able to see that there's subtle differences.
So 10 years ago, you saw the Duke was on the market. Why did you decide to buy a hotel?
Well, we were all up here on holiday together and literally having a glass of wine on the deck and realised that it was for sale. 18 months later of spreadsheets and ideas as to how we could do it together, and we are still here.
We also came up quite a lot during the year of negotiations, and during that whole time, it didn't rain once. So it was a bit of a surprise when the very first day, taking people's bags up to the room, and I stumbled across 25 buckets in the hallway, slowly filling with water, which the staff had just got used to this process and they thought it was normal. For me, I just felt like Basil Fawlty, taking these suitcases into a room thinking, I hope their bed's dry.
She has had a rough ride, but she's looking fantastic now, and we're all really proud of what we've done.
You know what I've enjoyed about staying at the Duke? It's layered in New Zealand history. It's all around you. It's been serving rascals and reprobates since 1827, and it's still doing it today. Cheers.